Let's get into it. Number 10. Recording a phone call without telling the other person. This feels like the most normal thing you could do. You are on the phone with a shady contractor who took half your money and started talking like he has never seen a roof in his life. So you hit record just to have proof. That instinct makes sense, but the law does not always agree with it. In the United States, some states allow one person on the call to record without saying anything. Other states require every single person on the call to agree first. Skip that step in the wrong state, and your solid evidence can turn into a legal problem for you instead of the contractor. Most people are not trying to spy on anyone. They are just tired of a company saying, "We never said that" 2 minutes after saying that. But intentions do not matter much once a law gets involved. In states that require everyone's consent, recording without permission can lead to real penalties, sometimes criminal charges, sometimes a lawsuit. The easy fix is saying it out loud. Tell the person you are recording for your records and ask if that is okay. If they say no, put the phone down, since nothing wastes good evidence faster than the evidence itself being illegal. Number 9. Flying a drone near an airport. Buying a drone turns almost anyone into a backyard pilot. You unbox it, charge it, and suddenly you are sending a flying camera into the sky just to get a better shot of your own roof. The problem is that aviation authorities do not see your drone as a toy. They see it as an aircraft, which means it now falls under real airspace rules. Flying near an airport, a military base, a stadium, or any restricted zone can lead to serious fines, and getting too close to an actual airplane is not just annoying, it is a genuine safety risk. I was just filming my house. Does not hold up well once a real aircraft is involved, and hovering over a neighbor's backyard filming their pool or their extremely questionable yoga attempt creates its own set of problems that have nothing to do with airspace. Before sending your drone into the sky, check the local rules, use an approved flight app, and stay far away from airports and other people's private spaces. That perfect aerial shot is not worth more than the drone itself. Number 8. Posting an angry rant online. Something happens, you get annoyed, and your fingers start moving faster than your brain. Before you know it, you have written a full courtroom speech with zero evidence and maximum emotion. This person is a scammer. This business steals from people. You hit post thinking you are just venting. The law might see it differently. Defamation happens when someone makes a false statement that damages another person's reputation, and when it is written down, posted, or uploaded, it is usually called libel. The internet is basically one giant libel machine with emojis attached. A lot of people think adding the word allegedly protects them automatically. It does not work like a magic spell. Saying I had a terrible experience with this business is very different from saying this business steals money from customers if you cannot actually prove it. Opinions tend to be safer than factual claims you cannot back up. And if the rant turns into threats, harassment, or repeated targeting of one person, you have moved from an angry post into much bigger legal trouble. Before hitting send, ask yourself one question. Can I actually prove this? If not, close the app and go drink some water instead. Number 7. Picking up cash you found on the street. Everyone has imagined this moment. You are walking down the street and you spot a folded bill on the ground, or maybe a whole envelope of cash that looks like it fell out of a heist movie. Your brain immediately says, this is a blessing. The law is a little less romantic about it. In many places, found property does not automatically belong to you just because you spotted it first. You are usually expected to make a real effort to return it, whether that means the police or the business where you found it. Finders keepers starts to look less like a childhood rule and more like a legal risk. Nobody is sending a task force after you for picking up a stray coin. But a wallet, a phone, jewelry, or an envelope of cash is a different story, and keeping something like that can count as theft by finding. Lost property still has an owner. That cash could be someone's rent money, and that phone could hold someone's entire life in photos. If what you found looks valuable and traceable, report it. Free money feels great until a security camera has already recorded you pocketing it. Number 6. Letting your dog bark endlessly. Every dog owner has told themselves the same lie. He is just expressing himself. Meanwhile, the neighbor hears the exact same barking and feels like they are living next to a furry car alarm. You might think your dog's bark has personality, but cities often have noise rules that specifically cover barking dogs. A dog barking nonstop, especially late at night or early in the morning, can be treated as a nuisance, which means complaints, warnings, fines, and eventually stronger enforcement from the city. The dog obviously has no idea any of this is happening. In his mind, a leaf moving or a car passing by is basically a national security threat only he can handle, while you sit inside pretending not to hear him. Your neighbors did not sign up for that arrangement. If the barking never stops, the law treats it like any other noise complaint, and your sweet pet becomes a walking fine generator with paws. The fix is not yelling at the neighbor for complaining, it is training, exercise, and figuring out why the dog keeps barking in the first place. Number 5. Lying to law enforcement. This sounds obvious until panic gets involved. And panic makes people surprisingly creative. An officer asks a simple question, and suddenly someone who has never lied in their life turns into the lead actor in a bad crime drama. Was that your car? No. Is this your name? Also no. People lie because they assume a small lie will shrink the problem. The law usually does the opposite and turns that small lie into its own separate charge. Giving false information to police can lead to obstruction, false reporting, or other charges depending on where you are. And often the original issue was minor until the lie became the real problem. Covering for a friend makes things worse too. Your friend created the mess, and you just handed them a shovel to dig it deeper. The safest response is almost always the boring one: tell the truth, or say you want a lawyer before answering anything else. Lying to law enforcement is a lot like putting out a kitchen fire with petrol. Technically you did something. Practically you made it worse. Number 4. Moving large amounts of cash without using a bank. Cash can feel like the simple option. You want to buy land, pay for a car, or settle a business deal, and someone says just bring cash. No forms, no delays, no awkward questions. In some countries like Nigeria, moving large sums of cash can raise serious money laundering concerns. The Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act sets limits on cash payments above certain thresholds: 5 million naira for individuals and 10 million naira for companies. Once you are moving serious money, doing it entirely in cash starts to look suspicious even when the deal itself is completely legitimate. Banks create a paper trail that shows where money came from and where it went, and that trail protects you. Cash on its own can make an honest transaction look questionable. There is also structuring, which is splitting a large payment into smaller pieces to dodge reporting rules, and regulators are very good at spotting that pattern. If a deal is large, run it through the bank, keep your receipts, and keep your agreements. The scariest sentence in any transaction is not bank charges. It is, please explain the source of these funds. Number 3. Using your neighbor's Wi-Fi without permission. Your internet goes down, you open your Wi-Fi list, and there it is. An open network with no password and full signal. Your brain immediately decides an open network is basically an invitation. That is not always true. In some places, accessing a network without permission can fall under computer misuse or unauthorized access laws, even if nobody notices. Nobody sends a task force because you checked WhatsApp on your neighbor's router for 5 minutes. But that does not make it legal. The real risk shows up when your use causes a problem. Maybe it slows down their connection, or maybe they eventually notice a stranger has been quietly using their network, and now you are explaining yourself instead of just borrowing Wi-Fi. Guessing passwords or bypassing security to get in stops being innocent entirely. The easier move is just asking. A simple "can I use your Wi-Fi for a bit" beats becoming the neighborhood's unofficial hacker because your data bundle ran out. Number 2. Forgetting to leash your pet. Every pet owner has said the same sentence right before disaster: he is friendly. Usually said 5 seconds before the dog sprints toward a stranger like it just remembered an old debt. Your dog might genuinely be the sweetest animal alive, but leash laws do not grade dogs on personality. Public space is not your living room, and some people are scared of dogs, some dogs are aggressive, and some people are just not interested in being tackled by an excited animal with no brakes. If your off-leash dog bites someone, knocks someone over, or causes an accident, you can be held responsible for the damage, and you can be fined for breaking leash rules even if nothing bad happens at all. Owners judge their pets by intention. The law judges by outcome. Your dog meant well. The jogger who got knocked into traffic did not experience it that way. Leash your pet where it is required, use designated off-leash areas when they exist, and work on training. Because he is friendly has never once worked as a legal defense. Number 1. Handling a salmon in suspicious circumstances. In the United Kingdom, the Salmon Act of 1986 includes an offense that is genuinely remembered as handling salmon in suspicious circumstances. That is the actual wording. Suspicious circumstances immediately raises questions nobody expected to ask about a fish. Are you meeting the salmon behind a warehouse at midnight? To be fair, the real purpose of the law is about illegally caught fish, and if someone receives, moves, or gets rid of salmon while knowing it came from illegal fishing, that counts as an offense. The serious version makes complete sense. The wording is just funny enough that it turned into one of the most famous strange laws in the country. Out of everything on this list, this is probably the one you are least likely to run into, unless your average week somehow includes suspicious seafood logistics, in which case it might be time to rethink your friend group. That covers phone calls, drones, online rants, stray cash, barking dogs, loose Wi-Fi, unleashed pets, and one very specific fish law. If a stranger ever hands you a salmon in an alley and tells you not to ask questions, ask a few anyway. That is all for today. Subscribe for more videos like this.